Data C as we pick this off. It's ready to roll in the bottom left-hand corner. Our blue Terran player from Mouse. It is going to be HeroMarine. How will he do in today's round of 4 semi-finals here? It's been a bit of a speedrun on this section of back. We're not even 3 hours in. Semi-finals starting. It'll happen every day. The other rounds, for example, are about a match behind at the moment. So it's been a quick half of the bracket. These two have not wasted time getting to this point in the tournament. Top right-hand corner, the red Zerg player from Kaizi Gaming is Reynor. Overlord of Reynor starts to head down the bottom left-hand side, so away we go. Getting across, getting moving. And go get into play. And center starting up on the natural, the Overlord coming through, and just going to be seeing a couple of drones building on the side of Reynor as well. Obviously, it's CC first here, so command center first from HeroMarine on Data C, big map. HeroMarine wanted to kind of shy away from CC first 8 Raxes, CC first 2 basal limbs, and those are things we've seen Reynor succumb to in recent times, so those are definitely things to be a little bit cautious of from his point of view, if nothing else right now. There's a couple of refineries coming up as well. Continuing to get set into play. So it's going to be racks, double gas. Not any kind of like 3 racks or anything, which can sometimes happen here, for example. Or 2 racks even. Those sort of things are always going to be something of a possibility in these circumstances, but yeah, this time around, not really going to be the case. Still coming through, a couple of queens in production. All that being brought into play right now. Have a CC finishing up, coming on in. You're gonna see a couple of queens are in production still. Our factory coming down. Everything's very normal. Data C really is this kind of very middle of the road normal map as well, so yeah. Let's see our reactor coming through, factory setting up. For the moment. Gonna lift off, gonna move over to the side. Tech Lab will be setting up on the racks over there as the factory comes in, takes its place. Reactor can get going on that one. I'm just going to be seeing a couple of Hellions coming through the starboard as well. All of this getting set to go for now. That's just going to be seeing our sailing speed continue to build. Our starboard coming through. A lot of setup right now for game number 1, but not a whole lot of happening. Oh, there's a Marauder though, so it is going to be a little aggression out of HeroMarine. Marauders still. We'll expect to see concussive shells further down the line at that point. Okay, that's definitely what I'm talking about, right? That's the sort of thing I'm kind of down for right now. Something just a little different, a little funky. Now he's cancelled the Marauder. He's just going to build Cloak and Banshees. It was just a safety Marauder in case of roaches then. So because he's going CC first, he's kind of susceptible to roach attacks. So I think the plan here becomes, hey, just in case, you know, then let's just make sure that I'm not actually going to be in too much trouble or anything. Let's make sure I've got a defense against something like this. And goes from there, so yeah. I got so excited. I was like, Marauder's attacks! And no, it's actually just going to be a setup into Cloak Banshees or something a little bit more standard for the moment. See our Marine nibbling away at the Overlord, so little bits of damage done onto our Ovi for the moment. A few Hellions will still set up just out the center here, and our Stimpack, our cloaking, also continuing up as well. Factory back to the reactor. A couple extra racks still coming through. And the Hellions just poking onto the Queens for a handful of moments. Nothing too major. Again, just going to be seeing our lair, a nest, drones. All of this still coming in for the moment. Hellions is going to go sit out the front, so they're still in the middle of the map, kind of waiting to see what they can do. Banshee up the top side. Let's see, start poking, get some damage done, but the queens are here immediately, so Banshee doesn't do anything at all straight away. So, at least for the moment, it's going to be slowed down just that little bit. Seeing a couple of creep tumors will get shot down as well. It's just going to nip and nab at those. Hellions will be here. The Banshee's getting set. Just going to be seeing our stim about to complete on the side of HeroMarines. Again, that completed up. And the queens around the top. See where they can go as well. And that pretty much immediately to turn the few Hellions around. And the Banshees around the bottom right side will grab a Ling on the watchtower. Still pretty passive. I mean, when you look at what's being killed, 3 Lings and an Overlord. Very peaceful game thus far. Ooh, Banshee escapes with its life there, cloaking just in time. It had to be a cloak, otherwise obviously that shot would have connected. When the cloak goes online, if there's no vision, the shot can't actually connect. Projectile logic in StarCraft 2. It's an interesting one. See a few Hellions coming around, then a couple of quick tunes getting picked off, +1 attack, combat shield. All this about to kick in is just that singular engineering base. A pretty aggressive 5 racks to begin with, but we do have a 3rd CC finished up behind this, so it's not like this is just going to be a complete 2-base all in. It's going to be pretty committed on 2 bases, but then a 3rd to follow up with. Definitely interesting as we do see our Marines coming forward. Our Queens taking quite a few shots and getting pushed back away. A lot of creep going down. Reynor just trying to prep a few more banelings for this attack. No upgrades from Reynor. His 1-1 not even halfway done yet, so that's a ways off at this point. He looks for the 3rd base with the banelings, but there's no SCVs there because it just now landed. As apparently the Banshee's going to get targeted down some banelings because the Overseer ain't ready. And Reynor's in a ton of trouble. This attack of HeroMarine is hitting hard. This is the exact kind of build that HeroMarine is so good with. Very reminiscent of how he likes to play his TVP as well, right? Aggressive around this 8 to 10 minute marker, strong timings, and this is absolutely all of that. And right now looking great. Let's see if he can follow through to finish up the game, because obviously Reynor ain't dead yet. He is just in a pile of trouble. Let's see if it evens out at all as this hatchery starts to take some damage to begin with here. So this hatch is going to go down. I don't think to really save it, so hatchery is going to be killed. Just going to be seeing a few broodlings popping out. Obviously, Reynor has expanded to the top left, so he's taking a 4th base over there instead, and that will force a relocation here from HeroMarine, you'd imagine. Have to go elsewhere now to continue this as our Marines go through. They're going to get rid of a couple of creep tumors. So this creep's getting picked off, our tank is getting sieged, our Marines are still coming over, and just going to be seeing our banelings threatening to roll into this Marine force as well, I imagine. In the next few moments, here we go. Banelings crashing in, quite a few Marines taking hits. And all the rest of our Marines are sitting and spreading. Army supply is kind of even, though, and that's obviously something of an issue for Reynor. He's now finished 1-1. He's going to be losing his 4th. He is counterattacking with a lot of Lings. A single siege tank getting siege. I don't feel like there's much else to really protect this. The handful of Marines out of here don't feel brilliant. And HeroMarine is sending a lot of units back to start dealing with this as well. You get a few SCVs, and the end he's just going to retreat away after getting not really many SCVs, but at least getting some reinforcements, so slowing down his opponent for at least a bit. We'll see it coming through. Just going to be seeing our Marines unloading and Banes crash in to kill those Marines off, so they get blasted. Absolutely blasted. Hatcher goes down, drone goes down, the Sport is in trouble. The Lings are looking for a wraparound here, but they just ain't finding it. A couple of tanks do now start to fall, and we do clean out a few of them. The medevacs escaping away over the left-hand side, as we do have our attack cleaned up. And Reynor, man, he was looking to be in so much trouble, but now he has survived. Well, HeroMarine is set up into a 4th base, a 2nd factory. He wants to just try and play a longer game, but whether Reynor lets him play a longer game is obviously a whole new question. And that's a very good question indeed, isn't it? So, not too sure about that one, as we do see our Lings. Banes coming forward, Marines continuing to retreat. Well, not enough. If he got rid of that siege tank, the Banes might have had a chance, but with the siege tank as well, You just were not getting rid of enough to get into that Marine cluster. And Reynor has to back it up. 5 on the way. And the 2 Banshees from earlier in this game are still pinging off at that hatchery on the top side as well. So continuing to do well with that. Touch is about to go down. I'm going to build a new one, but still not exactly ideal as it is. Aston Stout coming online, a couple medevacts coming up, our Marines coming in. Pressing forward a little bit, just a bit of creep spread starting to be cleaned out. As we come up this right-hand side, I'm just going to be seeing our Marines pushing forward. Tank fire looking decent onto a few of those Hydras. The Marines currently just still pre-splitting beautifully, I gotta say. HeroMarine setups for these fights have been great. Now, Reynor's gonna have 2-2 in this fight. Help out a little bit, but how much does it help if you're just outnumbered and outsplit? It's obviously a very good question. He's still rolling forward and just gonna come through. Marines and tanks have to continue retreating away, so away they go running. Just gonna be seeing the medevacs pulling on a way out of here, and just going to be seeing that lurker den finishing up as well. So all of that being brought into play. Reynor just surviving and hoping he can get to further and better tech, and so far he has continued to do just that. We have HeroMarine then around the bottom, relocating a little bit again and just figuring out where it wants to end up. Our +3 attack, our +2 armor, all coming into play. Ling Bane still coming through. Seismic Spines is about halfway done. And these Marines stepping forward, a few of the Lings getting picked off. And yeah, just going to be getting rid of a good chunk of creep spread here. So you're coming forwards, and do have the Queens able to get rid of the medevac. Here come the 2 Liberators around the top side, and get themselves ready for a siege up. But straight into Hydras immediately for the first, so Reynor already starting to get on top of this defense. Marines splitting up one more time as our Banes wanting to move through there. The Hydras continue to come in, just going to be seeing our Marines still fighting. Queen still taking some damage. The Viper's blinding Clouding. Can Reynor get a good enough fight here to push HeroMarine back properly for a bit? Obviously no creep on this side. Oh my god, how much of a Ling Bane flank? Hello? Ducks a couple of tanks, not sure how much that really did, but that Ling Bane flank coming in was just huge. I don't even know where all those units came from. They were just missing for so long. My goodness, and suddenly HeroMarine, well, his army got wiped completely there, so that's going to be a tough recovery, no doubt. An extra round of Banelings and Lings continuing to come through. Marines will be backing it up right now as we just see our Bioforce moving around a few different directions. These couple Lings down to the bottom side are going to get caught straight away, so Bio clearing out over there already. Nice abduct, and that's a dead medevac full of units. No! Oh! The re-abduct, I laughed because they make that weird noise because it went so far. I felt like the abduct really stretched. Poor Viper's going to need reattaching to its tongue. Pretty much got dragged out going for that far. GG's, and Reynor executes a brilliant continued defense to eventually win out this game. The consistent aggression of hero number 2. On the bottom left-hand side, blue Terran player, HeroMarine. Down a game after a start that must have felt good for him, was definitely going the way he would have wanted it to. Not able to keep it going, as in the top right side, our purple Zerg is going to be Kaisi Gaming's Reynor. Wild game. Very wild game as we get set up for this map 2 then. I'll see what Reynor brings out in Waterfall. A bit of aggression maybe. Obviously very short maps, so straight away the possibility of being kind of aggro in the early stages is going to be there. It's just so tough. It feels like you can push and push and almost kill Reynor repeatedly, and then at the end of the day you just can't actually get enough done, right? You just can't actually break him down. Such a frustrating player to play against. His resilience in these games is always absolutely top-notch, right? It's just such a struggle to be able to break through Reynor when he is playing his best games. Ball coming over to the left side a little bit here. ZvT. I'm gonna go back up to the top. Just gonna check in on the hatchery that is building. It is a hatch first. Good to know. No, that's not a pool first. Obviously makes life a bit easier for you generally as well. So straight away, very good to know about. Here he comes around. Couple of these lings taking some damage already. I'm just gonna be seeing the Reaper getting a ping away. One ling going down, looking for another. And he drops, just gonna be seeing the drone. And beat off over to the side. I'm just gonna be seeing the Queen able to get there and pick that Reaper off. So Reaper will go down. As we have our Roach-Rowan building from Reynor. So that Roach-Rowan coming through. There's the Roach-Rowan in the background there. And a few of these drones setting up as well, being brought into play. Both these overlords just setting up as well, obviously ready for a whole bunch of roaches all at once. At least there is looking to be potentially a Banshee setup from HeroMarine. He was very safe last game as well, preemptively built a Marauder because it was CC first. Not really needed this time around, but yeah, cute to talk about the possibility, right? It is going to be the starport then to go to the tech lab, so you imagine there's going to be a quick Banshee. Is that going to be enough to turn this around, or are we going to be in some trouble? As the couple of Hellions make their way over, they get a bit of creep spread. And for now, just clearing up with that as these Hellions will get rid of a couple of Maulings, taking those down rather easily as well. Well, the Roach is trying to sneak around, but the Hellions are going to find them in the top left-hand corner there, so the Roach is spotted. And HeroMarine's response, pull the Hellions back, cancels the depot at the front. Anything that these Roaches could potentially kill easily is not worth committing into, and he's immediately going to start up a couple mines. That plus the Banshee, I do not feel like this is going to be super successful for Reynor right away. Obviously, you can get the depot. You can maybe go after some SCVs if they didn't pull away in time, but now they do. Just going to start going up this ramp, and I mean, honestly, just fighting against Hellions, basically. Nice Corrosive File at least does land on the Hellions, but as the mines burrow up, what can we really do here? Bile the mines, I suppose, will kill neither of them, but they both go low, and now we get forward enough to kill one. Obviously, the Banshee just chips through these units all the way throughout this, so the Banshee is just getting closer and closer to having cleaned this up. But the Marauder popping out too. This was a very easy defense from HeroMarine. A lot of lost mining time on the natural, but that was about it. As Reynor drones heavily, the biggest thing that Reynor will be behind in is really his tech. You might say, well, he's still ahead in workers, he's still, got creep moving forward, but his tech is so far behind because of that Roach investment, and that is going to be the big thing that Reynor doesn't really have an answer to. And even these Hellions is something you might not have an answer to, as he has to start splitting up the drones. A few Roaches start to spawn as an answer, but 11 already dead, and 13, one more big volley, just for 14 there. He should be able to line up a couple final kills. Gets 15, and that will be it, but that's obviously undoing all of the droning, which he already did. The Banshees are here causing chaos as well. No Lair, no Overseer, so you're fully reliant on the Spore Crawlers, which is obviously just a frustration at this point in time also. And that is a huge part of the problem, as it looks as though HeroMarine is looking very good to take this game into his own favor and to take a 1-1 setup in the semi-finals of today's ESL Open Cup Europe. Looking very, very good as we do see the Banshees will get rid of another couple drones. Escape away down the right-hand side. Aston back about a finish, +1 starting. Banshees getting away there. A couple of depots getting up at the front. Just make sure you don't die to run-bys or anything crazy. At this point, it's Reynor. You're just not really set to do much of anything, though. Banshee's going out up the top. Turn it back around here. And +1, our combat shield, all being brought into play for the moment as the couple of additional medevacs are being set up. Yeah, the kind of damage from HeroMarine really helps him out a lot, but even still, you can see his full commitment to this 2 base right now. It means he needs to do damage again, and I think he should be able to. Usually I feel like 2 bases against roaches does not seem like a great idea, but in this case, it's going to be just about fine. I don't think it's going to be too problematic as Marines start pushing forward. Bio coming through, just going to go straight in, and well, a couple of queens here immediately in some trouble. So a couple of queens start to go down. Push straight up this ramp. Tanks will continue to siege. Just going to see a couple of queens still being picked off. And yeah, I mean, the roaches work on overwhelming your opponent. How the hell are you going to overwhelm a guy that has this amount of bio? You're absolutely not going to overwhelm him. And that means we're going to game 3 of this series, as we were expecting. So we are going to get to the expected point of this. And that third map is coming up. Which is obviously nice to be able to catch both the semis, right? It's not always something we expect to be able to do in this event, but today we got a chance, it would seem. HeroMarine top right, Reynor upper left, game 3 coming through. As he gets set up and ready to go. Let's see what happens. Hatch gas pool. Nothing too crazy on the side of Reynor. HeroMarine is going to open racks first as well. Not going to risk any kind of CC first play. It's really not needed here either, so that's absolutely fine. Watch to see how this all develops. Obviously, we've had a couple of different games so far, and again, very aggressive in that last one. And HeroMarine is hoping to bounce back himself here after a good start in game 1 that then kind of got turned around and eventually didn't go his way. So, real whirlwind of a series when you look at it like that. HeroMarine just had all of that momentum in that first game for so long. Actually, was really sick effort from Reynor to be able to hold out and to not let that fall apart too heavily in the end. Feelings nibbling up the Reaper, and the Reaper will fight back. Drop the grenade, and a drone is made. It's gonna have our Marine here nibbling its way through and overboard as well, so push that back to some high ground. And it's going to be a 3cc from HeroMarine, so we are going to be seeing the triple command center setup this time. A little bit of a different way of getting set up compared to what we've been seeing previously. One comes in, just going to be seeing our Reaper is going to get a little few shots extra going down. Aliens, Queens still coming through, just going to be seeing the CC number 3 setting up as well. Now Stimpak's done early as well, no pressure this time from Reynor, so it seems like this will get up without getting punished or anything. Reaper gonna get itself a drone. Nice little pick off there, so good to grab that pretty much straight away. We do have our 2 queens able to pick through. There's a couple of Hellions here getting rid of a couple more drones. Gonna make it 3. And now looking for more. Gonna get 4, 5, 6 drones going down. Wow. Very nicely done as a couple of Hellions now run into the natural as well. And this is gonna be Reynor taking some hefty damage here. Link speed not done for a while, as I feel like these Hellions have been a little bit misguided in their targets. Feels like they could have maybe had a couple of better shots on already hurt workers that they just didn't go for. 8 drones dead though. I mean, how many Hellions did we lose? 4? We killed only 4 Lings. It's not super terrible for Reynor. I mean, losing drones is always painful, but you're losing drones in a game where HeroMarine is obviously going to be you're losing drones in a game where HeroMarine's going to be keeping it going. And losing Hellions as well. Sorry, I'm just not thinking at all. You're losing drones in a game where HeroMarine's given up some of his own Hellions and now losing his map control. So he's not going to be able to keep that going. I missed out an entire part of my explanation in my head there. As that Ling goes and takes the watchtower, a couple of Evo chambers still coming online, the drone's still coming up. A starport coming through. And we've got our Marine stud here, ready to fight against these few Zerglings. So 1 Ling already being picked off. Hellions in the center, gonna get another Zergling as well. I'm just gonna be seeing our creep spread still pushing through. Again, interesting that we have this map for the ZvT Game 3. I don't know what Reynor vetoed. I guess Moondance and Inside and Out. Very interesting. Stargaze is one that you see vetoed very quickly a lot of the times by Zerg, and if not Stargaze, then Waterfall. I know you've got to let some of these more Terran-y maps come into the map pool, but yeah, interesting to see which ones he allowed in, as these Hellions, decent wrap around, and they are facing some trouble here as the Lings continue to play Chase'ems. They're going to get all the kills pretty much, even if this one gets away. Hellion count is only going to be at 1, so all that map control I was talking about that the Hellions give you, well, that is absolutely not going to be continuing at all, so this is looking like a good shutdown, as Reynor did lose a few Lings at least, but again, now you're missing so much of your further map controls here, Marine. His creep spread is not being denied at all. You're going to have to do some work with these Medivacs and Marines. Those 2 Medivacs and Marines are going to have to put in some overtime to clean up the creep and to keep that from really getting out of whack here, right? I mean, if you let the creep go a little bit too crazy, you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble very quickly. Medivacs into the natural, going to scan up. A few of these creep chambers going down, and our Marines will stand and fight. Lings come in for a wraparound. Medivacs lift back off, and we'll move to the low ground, perhaps. It's going to be seeing the creep spread here that is still being pushing out into the center. Let's just continue to run through. Our Marines loading up once again, and the Medivacs now going to move to the top side where they can drop into the natural, and this process shall continue to repeat itself, it would seem. Marines unload. I'm just going to sit in the nat a bit, going to load up one more time, pull off to the sides. And again, 2-2 setting up, the Widow Mines, the Marine Marauder, all continue to produce right now. Just going to be seeing the Army of HeroMarine heading down to the south, so a lot of Marines, a couple of mines, all setting up. We do have our creep spread being denied, the Bioforce falling back a little bit further. We load back into Medivacs, unloading once again. On top we come pushing through these couple of mines, pulling back as well. More creep spread still being cleared out in full. There's a mine pretty much straight away, and just still seeing our Lings wanting to get forward here. Bit of mine connects, one Ling dies. Marines pushes, getting a lot of work done. Those early drone losses that Reynor took, maybe they really were worth the Hellions that gave themselves up, as HeroMarine are now looking very good and is not letting Reynor really breathe in this game. Upgrades are pretty much even here, and Reynor's trying to get himself up to a Hive Tech. Sorry, not Hive Tech, but up to the Hydra Tech. So trying to get something to aid this this kind of Ling Bane army, but it's not really there yet. Love this Unburrow Reburrow, though maybe could have used that forward Widow Mine just to target the Morphing Banes. And yes, splash damage means they wouldn't have all died, but I love this Reburrow as well. And then we Unburrow one more time. Actually pulling that Widow Mine back specifically before trying to burrow it. It's actually going to get burrowed there. Eventually goes off on a few units. The micro from HeroMarine's being pretty darn good. And again, just not giving up on any pressure at all, as Reynor has a lot of Lings right now. This might be a lift and get the hell out of there moment, and he will opt to do just that. Unload bio units into the bottom left. This hatchery will be in some trouble. 2-2 upgrades about to finish from HeroMarine. He's going to have just 20 seconds where he's got the upgrade advantage, but obviously with the fact he's already on the front lines, that's a big deal, because these are 20 seconds where every second is going to be utilized in these trades. So yeah, HeroMarine fighting forward with this upgrade advantage right now and looking very good still. But game 3 of this series here on Stargaze is Reynor has another round of Banes rolling forward. The drop in the bottom left is not recommitted in. And here comes the 2-2 finally finishing up from Reynor. I mean, like I say, it was a perfect little attack in terms of timing for HeroMarine as he continues through. These Overlords are dropping, these Lings are dropping, Queens are going down, Mainland Nest is in trouble. And, I mean, again, more Zerglings just wrapping around this Bio army. It's going to see a little bit more Bio showing up. Hydras will be dropping. Wouldn't mind friendly fires a little bit here, but doesn't matter. I think HeroMarine just has too much. At this point, we don't even have Banelings, and GG is called. HeroMarine goes to the finals of the ESL Open Cup Europe.